Hiya guys, Crazy Teacher Nick, and I'm starting the new year off with something interesting. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to do a series of videos that you can get every week if you're subscribed. Okay, it's going to be an introduction to the 9093 AS level English, and we're going to start with Unit 1. Focusing on context, audience, and purpose. So what we're hoping to achieve with this is short weekly lessons, okay? And each week we're going to focus on something different, okay? This week we're focusing on context, audience, and purpose. Next week, form and structure. Then language and style, voice, viewpoint, analyzing texts, and then those important writing skills. Okay, now guys, it's important, remember that these are not meant to replace your normal lessons. Okay, these are just meant to support your your learning. So whether you're starting with AS level English or whether you want to recap on stuff that you would have done in class, these are going to be the videos for you. Let's get going. So context, audience, and purpose. Okay, so context, audience, and purpose. Before we read any text, we need to put on our cap. Okay, so you've got the cap layers. So for example, perhaps the brim is the context. That kind of covers the whole perspective of your text. The front logo, what is the hat about? Okay. And then obviously the fit strap that comes at the back, that's your audience. How is the text adjusted to fit the wearer? Okay, so stay with me. Okay, this is context, audience, and purpose with Crazy Teacher Nick. Okay, so put on your thinking caps. So here I'm going to have to be like, yo, because I don't understand all of the language, but you as young people, I'm sure you most definitely do. So don't cap to me, yo. I know you haven't started your revision yet. And this is one of the very first things we kind of teach. Those of you in GCSE would have also probably studied something about context, audience, and purpose. You may have learned TAP or something similar. Okay. So why cap is no cap. Is that right? No cap? Never mind. Okay, so what? So the goal is to basically move from mid-analysis to our elite analysis. That's what these videos are going to try and help you to do. Okay, the secret here is, okay, every text is a fit. Okay, so all of the context, audience, and purpose, they've got to come together. Okay, because because they all influence each other. Okay, so if there is something that doesn't work, something that doesn't fit with what you've got, then you're not going to be clear on what you're going to be analyzing. So the context, what is the text about? Audience, who is the text for? Purpose, what is the purpose of the text? Okay, so C is for context, the vibes. So what is the scene, yo? Where? So is it in a dank basement or a fancy basement or somewhere interesting? When does this text take place? It's going to influence your language. Okay, does it go back to my day in the 1800s? Okay, or was it just 10 minutes ago? You know, what is happening within the text? Okay, is it a war? Is it a pandemic? Is it a viral trend? Okay, if you don't know the context, you're reading in the dark. Okay, turn the lights on. And that turn the lights on is basically, what is the vibe that I'm getting from this text? Okay, you need to feel the text. You're reading for understanding, and that is really, really important. If you understand what the text is about, okay, it makes the rest of it pretty easy. And I will say sometimes Cambridge does give us those odd texts to analyze. And sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm like, huh? What is going on here? But when that comes up, if I ever find myself in that situation, pause, just read through the text again, okay? Start looking for those little pointers. Okay, A is for audience. Okay, so think about your audience even in your own writing. You wouldn't talk to your grandma the same way you might talk to your squad when you're playing video games or when you're chatting on Discord. Okay, because the audience is important. I mean, if you're kind of, talking about like the noobs or the pros, okay, you would have to change your language. Think about playing a video game like maybe Call of Duty or Ark Raiders or one of those, okay? You wouldn't use that expert language when you're chatting to a noob, okay? However, if you are a pro and everybody you're playing with is a pro, you're going to be using that kind of pro language, okay? Is it for Gen Z or is it for Gen B? The boomers and the zoomers. I think I'm a boomer. Well, I'm pre-boomer. I don't know. Okay. I told my dog about my AS level English revision. He wasn't the right audience. He just looked rough around the edges. Okay. P is for purpose. Okay, so the why. Why did the author waste their ink or their battery life? Okay, so normally your main purposes are going to be to persuade, to inform, and to entertain. These are your three main purposes. But you can't just take the purpose alone, okay? You've got to think about who is the writer or speaker. What are they trying to do with their message? And how are they trying to affect their audience? Okay, and in paper 1, question 2, be careful. Sometimes these texts have what we call a dual purpose or second purpose. Very similar to the conventions. Okay, so you might find that it's both informative and entertaining. Okay, or entertaining and persuasive. Okay, but again, if you don't understand the context of the text, you're not sure who the audience is, you're going to struggle with that purpose. Look for the language, look at the language, that's going to help you understand what is the purpose of the text. Okay, so here's an example text. I got to get like my right voice for this. Listen up, legends. Are you tired of your fit-looking mid because your headgear is stuck in 2010? It's time to level up. Our vintage vibes, snapbacks, combine 90s nostalgia with the modern street cred. Whether you're hiding a bad hair day or just need to shield your eyes from the haters, this cap is your new best friend. Cop yours at the link in the bio before they're gone. Limited drop only. Don't be the only one at the skate park looking like an NPC. So who's my audience? What are they trying to do here with this text? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of the text? Well, we can see that it's, well, I think, I don't know, you guys, I can see a rhetorical question, I can see those imperatives, so I'm thinking maybe they're trying to persuade me to buy like the latest cap, right? Who's my audience? Well, I'm looking at some of the language like modern street cred and don't be looking like an NPC and cop yours and the link in the bio. So that's not going to be people my age. It's going to be younger people, more people like you. Okay? I mean, someone who's old in the tooth like me, might ask themselves, what's a bio? I mean, most of us know what a hair day is, but like, what's a hater? Okay? What is a NPC? So it definitely makes me think that it's aimed at younger people. And what is the context? Well, the guy has definitely kind of got this like really cool hat, and people down maybe, young people are going to like it because it's got that like vintage look, but it's like cool as well. And he's trying to basically say, get this hat because it's awesome. So that's how I'm working out my context, my audience, and my purpose. Okay, so if we look at it, if we break down the no cap breakdown, okay, if we break it down a little bit, the context, what are the vibes? So where would I normally find this piece of text? Well, it's probably some sort of a social media post, okay, possibly on Instagram or TokTik, okay, because they're using words like link in the bio and limited drop. Culturally, it taps into like the hype beast culture. Okay, I'm sure you guys all know Beast. He's always recommending me, that they subscribe to me. Anyways, okay, maybe not, but he should. Okay, so it taps into that kind of like hype beast culture, current trends of the 90s nostalgia. It's using fast-paced modern slang like NPC, mid-cop. It kind of dates it to the kind of the 2020s. Okay, audience. So who's the squad? It's teenagers, young adults, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, who kind of care about streetwear and social status. The text kind of implies that people who are afraid of being uncool are going to look like an NPC, non-player character for any teachers watching, if you didn't know what an NPC was. Okay, essentially someone who doesn't stand out, and that's what they're kind of implying here. So the tone is really informal, it's kind of peer-to-peer, and it's very high energy. The purpose, well, the main purpose is to persuade. It's using that FOMO, fear of missing out, for the teachers. Okay, via words like limited drop. Okay, that phrase is there to pressure that reader into buying the super cool cap. Okay, I wonder, do I have a cap? I don't know, what do you guys think? Does that work? Or is that like, nah, it's a bit old school. Okay, what else have we got? Got my old England rugby hat. Yeah, no. Hats are not me, right? Okay, let's get back to work. So, definitely text is in to persuade, okay? And the secondary purpose is obviously it's there to entertain. Remember I said you got to think about it? There could very possibly be that secondary purpose in the text because of the language, okay? That slang and the humor. Okay, the brand is building an identity with its audience, so it's kind of entertaining as well. I mean, it's not like boring. Like, buy the cap now; it will make you smart, like the teacher. Okay, I wanted to buy a hat that covered my ears, but I didn't want to be too captivated by the style. Come on, I know you guys love these jokes. My last video, you guys were like, yo, Teacher Nick, best jokes ever. Okay, so context, audience, and purpose. Okay, remember, they all influence each other. Okay, so the audience influences the context, your understanding. If you know who the audience is, you'll understand the context of the text better. If you understand the purpose, okay, and the audience, you're definitely going to understand more of what the writer is trying to do to the audience. And when you understand the purpose and the audience, it might be easier to pick up the context. Okay, so let's have a look at an example text. Okay, this is a travel blog. Okay, so let me see if I get this voice right for this text, because my voice is going to be slightly different for this one. Forget those style soulless city breaks. If your soul yearns for the wild whisper of ancient forests and the raw, untamed majesty of snow-capped peaks, then the Dolomites are calling. Just yesterday, I navigated the dizzying Strada della 52 Galleria, 52 tunnels carved through sheer rock by World War I soldiers. My lungs burned, my legs ached, but every panoramic vista was a jaw-dropping testament to human endurance and nature's grandeur. I've got a frog in my throat. Not really. It's just a saying. It'd be weird if I had a frog in my throat. Where was I? Pack your hiking boots. Leave your anxieties at home and prepare for an adventure that will redefine breathtaking. Trust me, your Instagram feed will thank you. Okay, so the context of the text, okay, you can see that it's kind of about a recent travel experience. That's that horrible bird. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, so it's a current or a recent travel experience. It's kind of written in that blog format. Okay, it suggests immediacy and personal reflection. Okay, so travel writing, blogs, diaries, very personal writing. So they're going to be a little bit reflective. Okay, it's probably an online travel blog. So it's accessible globally to anybody with the internet access. Okay, perhaps it's post-COVID desire for outdoor adventure. Okay, but the text itself, okay, seem to be about the historical side of these tunnels, but obviously there's hiking involved in it. So obviously it's people, and it says Instagram, so it might be for younger people who want to get out and kind of travel. Okay, so from the context, we can see the temporal, we can see the spatial, and from a social point of view, we can see it's on Instagram. So it's a modern trend of it's a modern trend of experiential travel, sharing experiences on social media. Audience, well, adventurous individuals, okay, probably young to middle-aged people interested in active holidays, nature, and unique experiences. Possibly, you know, people like you that are interested in social media or active on the Instagranny or the TokTik or the Book of Face. Okay, perhaps they're seeking inspiration, looking for some sort of authentic travel advice rather than kind of like those boring travel packages. And it kind of implies that people might be feeling sterile or soulless living in, you know, the big cities, and it's time for them to get out of town and go and see the world, like Dolstrom in South Africa, very beautiful place. Okay, purpose. So the primary purpose, clearly, is to persuade, come and visit the Dolomites. I've been there, it's absolutely fabulous. It's also informative, telling them about their specific experience, okay? But travel writing is also entertaining. Look at that vivid language that they used in the text, okay? And that personal experience, kind of connecting with that audience, establishing the blogger's credibility as an adventurous traveler, okay? And then the engagement, okay? So the purpose, persuade, inform, and definitely to entertain, okay? You spot it, you talk about it, okay? So bringing this all together, okay, We know that the context of the text is that it is modern, travel-hungry, post-lockdown world, perhaps. The audience, wannabe influencers on the Instagrammy, okay, and the outdoorsy type. Now, this is not the language you're going to be using. This is just like, I'm doing it this way. I'm using words like wannabe influencers and outdoorsy types so I can connect with you as young people, my audience. Okay, please don't use wannabe and outdoorsy. Okay, maybe outdoorsy in your analysis. Okay, because the examiners will be like, huh? Okay. The purpose, obviously, to make you feel the fear of missing out so that you can book a flight. It's that persuasive overall effect there. Okay. So here is a checklist. Okay. So whenever you are presented with a piece of text, and you can practice this with magazine articles, even a book that you might be reading at the moment. Okay. You're going to be thinking to yourself, is my cap on straight? Okay. Did I link the language to the context of the text? Because the language is going to influence the information in the text, how your audience receives that text. So did I discuss the audience, who's been triggered, who's been targeted? Okay. Did I find the purpose of the text? Okay, was there more than one purpose? And there doesn't have to be. Okay, if it's there, you'll spot it. Okay, so for example, you know, what is the writer's main character? What is their energy like? Okay, so I tried to write a blog about a mountain, but I just couldn't get over it. That's a joke. Another terrible English joke. Okay, guys, smash that like and subscribe. Okay, the next video is going to be, I think, on Voice and Viewpoint. I forget now, but make sure that you're subscribed. It's going to be dropping next week. I'm going to be recording it in the next 10 minutes, but you'll only see it next week, so I'll probably look the same, hopefully without the hat. Okay, remember guys, these are here to help. If you got any questions, please ask. Class dismissed. I'm off to buy more hats. I have a capital obsession. These jokes are terrible. Rock on.